Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says new information is on its way regarding the declassified documents that show the Obama administration manufactured intelligence to create the 2016 Russian election interference narrative.
So here we go. Doug Luzader joins us now from D.C. with the latest. Doug.
Here we go. Good morning. The Director of National Intelligence calls this a treasonous conspiracy. Some Democrats call the allegations baseless. DNI Tulsi Gabbard declassified documents and released them on Friday, showing, she says, that President Obama and other administration officials tried to shift the Russian election interference narrative after the election.
We are referring all of our documents to the Department of Justice for the purpose of accountability and action. No one, no matter who they are, no matter how high up they are or how powerful they may be, no matter who the intelligence officials or professionals were who were a part of this treasonous conspiracy, there must be accountability.
Critics say Gabbard is conflating two issues, whether Russia tried to directly interfere with vote counts and whether they were trying to influence the U.S. electorate. Gabbard, though, says more documents are on the way.
Next week, we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it.
All right, back in 2017, former FBI Director James Comey said this.
No fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose, they did it with sophistication, they did it with overwhelming technical efforts.
We will no doubt hear much more about this in the days ahead, with Gabbard saying that the Russian narrative was what she calls a manufactured piece of intelligence. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian, back to you.
All right, thanks, Doug. James Comey should be in jail. He's just straight up, Ainsley, you're right. He just flat out lied to the American people.
Evidence.
There is a difference between, and he knows this, he's a cop, he used to be a prosecutor. There's a difference from trying to interfere and interfering.
And
I think that's what, and manufacturing evidence. And what we discovered through the report that was released is that they knew this as well. There were meetings between the Intel Committee as well as the National Security Council talking about Russia and their attempts to try to interfere. And what they found in the meetings is that they didn't have the capability to do so. But something changed. After Donald Trump wins the election, they call another meeting, and all of a sudden they start the Russia collusion narrative. But before the election, they said, okay, Russia is trying, but there's no credible evidence to suggest that they have been successful.
Here's Tulsi Gabbard. She was on with Maria. You saw a little bit of that interview with Doug. Here's a little bit more.
It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue with such significant impact that it should concern every American because it has to do with the fabric and integrity of our democratic republic. There was a Mueller investigation that went on for years, cost taxpayers nearly $40 million. There were 2 congressional impeachments. President Trump and almost every member of his family were smeared and attacked, faced lawsuits, depositions. High-level officials were investigated. Foundational to it all was the fact that we had in President Obama and his leadership team people who did not want to accept the will of the American people in electing Donald Trump in 2016, and therefore cooked up this treasonous conspiracy to, again, try to effectively, and they did effectively, launch a years-long coup against the sitting president of the United States.
So that was Fox and Friends weekend, actually. But her office is implicated. The DNI director, James Clapper, CIA's John Brennan, FBI's James Comey, and NSA's Susan Rice. And she said there are whistleblowers as well that are coming forward.
I mean, just remember the Carter paid the fringe people of the Trump campaign that Trump barely even knew, who had cutouts come up to them and just say, put them in a place and time and somehow implicate them into the Russia investigation. It cost them a lot personally and professionally. They said only $40 million. I think it was more than $40 million. But I find a couple of things. In September, they say the Russian, remember they hacked John Podesta's email. That's legitimate. Somebody hacked his email. They expose it. Well, how do you change the subject? You change the subject after James Comey comes out and makes a statement that Hillary Clinton did a lot of bad things, but she should not be indicted. Nobody would convict her. What, really? So how do you change that motive? You go out, if you're the Democrats, you try to change the subject and say, Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump working together to basically take over the country. But in September, they do a report that Tulsi Gabbard talks about, and they read it and says there's no hard evidence that Russia is infiltrating the elections. Now, what are they doing? They conclude that they cannot get into any of the voting machines because it's just the way America does it, because we have 50 different stories in millions of different counties. But they say that, you know, they do buy Facebook ads. Okay. Facebook ads. That is not sophisticated approach to take down the American system and make Donald Trump the next president. If you gave them sodium pentothal, they probably would have preferred Trump over Hillary Clinton. Okay, that's no surprise. But Yeltsin came out and told Bush 41, I hope you win re-election. That wasn't a scandal. What I think that we need now is just hardcore, no conjecture, no ranting. Just show me exactly what changed. What changed from September to December, and then what launched. And I'm just going to bring you to another thing. Helsinki, when you were there, when Vladimir Putin and Trump stood together, and he said, I just talked to him. I don't think he infiltrated our elections. And everyone went crazy. How could you indict our intelligence apparatus and believe Vladimir Putin, who I believe is the villain of the world? But at this point, he's like, yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I didn't do that. So Trump goes, yeah, I kind of believe them because he knows Brennan was against him, Comey was against him. He knows who else was against him in the deep state. So possibly he was right when he said that. Well,
also, they have to explain to us while everything before the election, and you're right, Brian, when they're having these meetings and they don't think anything is credible because of the sophistication of our system, they're so independent. All of this is on the docket, on their calendars. They tell you exactly what it's about. But after the election, when they start having these secret meetings, they don't put any labels on the meetings. They're just private meetings. And there's only one administration. You can criticize them all you want, but they're the only ones putting the documentation out here for everyone to judge for themselves. You don't have to take the president's words or the DNI director's word for it. You can look at the documents yourself. What changed? Donald Trump won the election.
And how high up does it go? Does it go all the way up to the president? Does it go to Barack Obama? Also, the FISA courts, they're going to be looking into those judges as well.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.